In this video, we are going to look into the 7th sum, which is again a journal and a ledger posting sum. But in this, we are going to open only the cash and the sales account. So the sum goes as give journal entries for the following transaction and post them to the cash account. 2017 August 10, they have sold goods and the check has been received but not deposited. On August 14th, sold goods on credit to Gopi, and on August 20, received cash from Gopi. So let's start with the rougher column. So the first transaction, sold goods and check received but not deposited with the bank. So that is rupees 30,000. So here what happens is when you receive a check itself, it is to be considered as cash. Therefore, the two items which are involved here, or the two accounts involved here, is cash account and the sales account. Cash account being a real account and sales account also being a real account. Cash is coming in and the goods are going out when sales is being done. Therefore, we are going to debit the cash account and credit the sales account. So the next transaction, sold goods on credit to Gopi, rupees 12,000. So Gopi account and the sales account are the two accounts involved in this particular transaction. Gopi account is a personal account and sales account is a real account. Personal account we are supposed to receive from Gopi, therefore Gopi must be debited. And sales, the goods are going out in real account, out, whatever goes out is credited. The next transaction, receive cash from Gopi, rupees 12,000. So cash and Gopi are the two accounts involved in this transaction. So cash account is a real account and Gopi is a personal account. Cash is coming inside the business when we do sales, and Gopi is a person who is supposed to pay us. So he is the payer. Therefore, or the giver. Therefore, what comes in is being debited and who is the giver or the payer is the credited. Therefore, let's go into the journal entries and record these analysis into the journal entry. So let's start with the journal entries. So in the books of, the person's name is not given, therefore I put a dot there. Journal entry. According to the analysis, the journal entry is cash account debtor to sales account, 30,000 and 30,000 respectively in the same columns, and the narration being sales done and the check received. So let's move on to the next entry. So the next transaction is about the credit sales done with Gopi. So the transaction, the entry is Gopi account debtor to sales account, 12,000 and 12,000. The next transaction is receive cash from Gopi on August 20th. Cash account debtor to Gopi's account, and the narration being cash received from Gopi. The amount is being recorded in the debit and the credit column respectively. So with this, the journal entries are over. So we have to open the cash account and the sales account. So if you see the cash account is in two transactions, that is on the August 10th and on August 20th. And when you see sales account, again sales account will be in two transactions, that is on the August 10th and August 14th. So let's start the cash account first. Let's start with the ledger accounts. The first one being the cash account. So I've written down the format of the cash account, and according to our first journal transaction, it is cash account debtor to sales account. So cash account debtor. So you must go to the debit side of the cash account and must record the opposite account's name, that is sales. So I've come to the debit side of the cash account, and the date being 2017 August 10th to sales account. So that is 30,000 to be recorded in the outer column. The next transaction on the 20th, we have cash account to Gopi account. So cash account again is in the debit. So we have to go to the debit side of the cash account, and it is happening on the 20th. So this is to Gopi. The opposite account's name over there is to Gopi's account. So this is 12,000. So here I've recorded both my transactions relating to cash, and on the 14th there is no cash, therefore the transaction doesn't come inside the cash account. So my debit side has 42,000 and my credit side has nothing. Therefore, my debit side total is my greatest total. Therefore, I write the 42,000 as my grand total on both sides of my debit and on the same line for the credit also. After writing it, I'm going to record the balance on the side which is least. So this side doesn't have anything. So on 2017 August 31st, by balance carried down. So the same 42,000 with nothing is the same 42,000 to be recorded in the outer column. So now this 42,000 has to be taken to the other side. So we are in the credit. So I'm going to move to the debit side and record it for the next month, September 1st, to balance brought down as rupees the same 42,000 which we wrote for the carried down. So next let's start with the sales account. After the cash account, I've written down the format of the sales account. So let's start with the sales account. There are two transactions with sales. The first transaction on August 10th has sales in the credit. Therefore, we must go to the credit side of the sales account and record the opposite account name. So this is happening on 2017 August 10th. So that's going to be by cash account, which is the opposite account's name. So the amount for the transaction is 30,000 rupees in the outer column. The next transaction where sales occurs is on the 14th, Gopi account data to sales. Again, sales is in the credit, so I remain in the same side, and this is happening on the 14th by Gopi account. The opposite account's name is Gopi account, and this is 12,000 to be recorded. So my credit side, my grand total is 42,000. The same total to be written on the debit side also, which is empty. So now next I'm going to move on to the least side, my debit side, and record the balance. So the balance to be recorded on the last date of the month, so August 30th, to balance carried down. The same 42,000 minus nothing is 42,000. So this balance has to be brought down to the next month. So I'm on the debit of the sales account, so I go to the credit of the sales account. So credit side of the sales account, September 1st by balance brought down. The same 42,000 which we recorded for the carried down is to be written here.